Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we explore the transformative process detailed in How to Take Smart Notes by Sönke Ahrens. Published in 2017, Ahrens delves into the art of note-taking, a simple yet often overlooked method that bolsters one's thinking, writing, and learning. Ahrens' insights promise to liberate you from the dread of the blank page, providing strategies that could forever change the way you approach writing and research. This book extends beyond the boundaries of mere note-keeping. It is a valuable tool for anyone aiming to enhance their cognitive workflow and bolster their creative output. Whether you're a student meticulously drafting your thesis, a professor engaged in academic writing, or a nonfiction author crafting your next piece, Ahrens offers a lifeline in how to take smart notes. For the note-takers eager to revolutionize their methods, Ahrens' wisdom is both instructional and inspirational. As a seasoned writer and researcher in education and social science, and the author behind the award-winning Experiment and Exploration, Forms of World Disclosure, Sönke Ahrens' credentials assure that you are in expert hands. Embark on this journey with us as we condense his methodical guidance into an enticing summary fit for scholars and enthusiasts alike. Join us in turning the page on outdated note-taking and unearth the power of smart notes. How to take smart notes, one simple technique to boost writing, learning, and thinking for students, academics, and non-fiction book writers. Introduction: unlock the power of your thoughts with an ingenious note-taking system. Picture this. You sit down to tackle a writing project, your mind teeming with ideas, and yet, when you gaze upon the empty canvas before you, your thoughts scatter. Whether it's an academic paper, a professional report, or the beginnings of your magnum opus, the journey from a concept to a finalized piece of writing can be fraught with hurdles. But what if you had a secret weapon? A system not just for recording snippets of inspiration, but for weaving them into a structured, cogent narrative? Enter the realm of smart note-taking. Through this exploration, you'll unearth the definition and workings of Zettelkasten, a unique organizational method, a trio of note categories you ought to be nurturing, and the critical reason your mind isn't always the most reliable repository for your musings. Let's embark on this voyage, where you'll not only gather knowledge, but learn to harness it to fuel your creativity and intellectual pursuits. Part 1. From Humble Notes to Scholarly Triumphs. Once upon a time, there was a German administrative worker named Niklas Luhmann, a voracious reader who wielded his pen like a wand, transforming complex readings into distilled insights. These he jotted down on slips of paper, meticulously numbered and nestled within the compartments of a Zettelkasten or slip box. Unbeknownst to him, this unassuming routine would alter the course of his life and shape a unique legacy in sociology. This is a story of how smart notes can lead to extraordinary achievements. Contrary to odds, Luhmann found himself under the scholarly spotlight without a doctoral title to his name or a formal education in sociology. Despite this, he rose to the occasion. He united his passion for knowledge and his clever system of note-taking to craft a thesis within a year and graced the halls of the University of Bielefeld as a professor by 1968. Yet Luhmann's academic journey was far from over. He boldly charted a research course meant to span 3 decades and yield a grand theory of society with seemingly no financial burden. And in 1997, a year shy of his projection, Luhmann unveiled The Society of Society, a work that redefined sociological thought, enhanced by dozens of books and articles from his prolific mind. Even posthumously, Luhmann himself stepped aside from the mantle of genius, attributing his astoundingly productive intellect not to sheer brilliance, but to smart collaboration with his slipbox. Yet the world hesitated to emulate his method. Perhaps Luhmann's success felt unattainable due to misinterpretation of his system, or because its simplicity belied its profound capacity for brilliant work. What, then, was Luhmann's enigmatic process? It was deceptively simple. His genius didn't stem from within, but thrived in interplay with the wisdom of his slipbox. As we peel back the mysteries of this silent intellectual partner in the following segments, you too may come to realize that your greatest intellectual feats could be just a smart note away. Part 2. Navigate the trifecta of note-taking for intellectual growth. In the universe of ideas, thoughts are stars, bright and numerous. To harness their light, Niklas Luhmann designed his Zettelkasten, the celestial map that guided him through the cosmos of knowledge. Let's dive into the anatomy of his system and learn how to navigate the vast skies with three distinct types of notes. The principle is straightforward. Systematically make three types of notes to develop your ideas and arguments. First up in our astronomical journey are the fleeting notes. Think of them as comets, here one moment, gone the next. They're the raw, unprocessed observations and musings you jot down in notebooks or bits of paper. Unlike comets, however, you don't want them to disappear into the void. Store them in a designated location for later review. As you delve into the realms of literature, be sure to create your literature notes. These act like satellites, carefully orbiting the planets of the books and articles you consume. Scribble down pivotal concepts, jot down quintessential facts, and always write the reference details, all in your own words, to be placed into the first slip box, your reference archive. The third and most vital type are the permanent notes. Consider these the stars that form your intellectual constellations. Regularly sift through your fleeting and literature notes, filtering them through the sieve of relevance to your research and interests. Each idea that survives this process should be transferred into a durable, standalone permanent note, etched in your own language. This is not mere transcription. It's creation, a chance to craft new knowledge from your accumulated insights. Here's where the dance of organization begins. In your main slipbox, each new permanent note finds its place in the constellation of existing thoughts, connected either directly or indirectly to related ideas. Analog systems would see you manually threading these links, while digital alternatives offer a more automated approach to this intricate web. And the linchpin of this celestial framework? Your index. It's less of a telescope and more of a star chart, pointing you to the entryways of various thought clusters within your slipbox. But take a leaf out of Luhmann's cosmic manual. Keep it concise, anchoring just one or two permanent notes to your index keywords for clarity. With your trifecta of notes in place, your intellectual explorations are primed for deep space discoveries, creating a universe of your own vast and interconnected ideas. Part 3. A slipbox is your gateway to endless writing inspiration. Imagine unleashing a symphony of ideas that flow seamlessly onto the page, where each note strikes a chord in the melody of your argument. With a slipbox, the terror of the blinking cursor before the blank page becomes a tale of the past. If you're wondering how Luhmann turned a filing system into his muse, here's the subtle yet game-changing twist. He didn't categorize his thoughts into rigid subjects. Instead, Luhmann devised a fluid organic numbering system for his notes, a continuous stream of numbers supplemented by letters that allowed for endless branching and expansion of thoughts. The result? When a new idea surfaced, it wasn't thrust into the arbitrary confines of a category, but placed thoughtfully in the context of relevant existing ideas. For example, if note 223 was followed by a related idea, it didn't forcefully become note 224 but rather 223a, and this branching could continue ad infinitum, delving deeper into sub-ideas. A digital slipbox mirrors this clever system effortlessly, removing the manual labor of such intricate numbering. The key takeaway is this. With a slipbox, a blank page becomes a myth. Picture yourself poised to write. You don't start from zero. Instead, you have a treasure trove of arguments, snatches of wisdom, and references curated by you, ready to be woven into your narrative. It's like having a conversation with a past version of yourself who has laid out all the ingredients you need for a stellar piece. But remember, this magic doesn't happen overnight. It's a garden you tend meticulously, planting seeds in the form of notes from your readings, observations, and revelations. Writing these down not only helps you engage with the material on a deeper level, it also anchors them in your memory. Assuming that you've been an ardent gardener in your slipbox, when the time comes to compose a research paper or an article, you don't have to scramble for starting points. The clusters of notes whisper to you, suggesting paths to explore. Before you dive into creating new content, analyze the state of your garden. What's thriving? What's missing? What new seeds, readings might you plant to fill the gaps? Next, harvest your repository. Gather all pertinent notes and sort them on your digital or physical desktop. They will guide you in shaping your first draft into a coherent narrative. Don't shy away from asking hard questions. Where are the gaps? Are there any loose threads in the tapestry you're weaving? You may need to readjust your pattern, adding more threads or untangling existing ones. In the final sequence, you polish, you refine until the edges are smooth and your work is ready to meet the world. And once it does, you return to your slipbox, ready for the next cycle of creation, where a blank page is simply a canvas waiting for your notes to paint the first stroke. Part 4. Conquer grand projects with the power of incremental progress. Let's consider the illustrious Anthony Trollope, whose disciplined writing routine minted 49 novels over 3.5 decades, an extraordinary testament to the power of steady, incremental work. Each morning he laid down a steady stream of words, shaping the vast canvas of his stories with unwavering consistency. Yet when we ponder our academic mountain ranges, dissertations and research papers that stretch towards the horizon, the prospect can be as daunting as devouring an elephant. Nonetheless, what if we adopted a Trollope-like rhythm? Picture crafting merely a page a day, allowing one day of rest weekly. This approach could see the completion of a doctoral thesis in a mere calendar year. However, this idyllic academic cruise often runs aground. More than half of such scholarly voyages are abandoned. The key insight to digest is this: an elephant can only be eaten in bite-sized chunks. Consider Luhmann's slipbox, which, over his lifetime, swelled by approximately 90,000 notes, averaging 6 notes daily. If that benchmark looms too large, why not venture for 3? Even with this modest quota, the burgeoning web of notes and connections would be substantial before long. In engaging with our slipbox, every permanent note penned becomes a test of understanding. Do the words flow logically when transcribed from thought to paper? Are the facts accurate, the references in order? Writing crystallizes thought, allowing you to evaluate and enhance your arguments. Daniel Kahneman, a luminary of psychological science, once said that the human mind tends to leap to conclusions indiscriminately. Our cognitive faculties love to stitch facts together into tapestries of connection, regardless of whether these patterns exist in reality. Therefore, when we externalize our thoughts in writing, we stand a step apart, better equipped to assess and scrutinize the fabric of our reasonings. Thus, embrace the slipbox, your lighthouse amid cognitive mists. Each note, a stone laid on the path to your opus. Progress, however incremental, accumulates like grains of sand to eventually reveal a grand edifice. The elephant doesn't seem so colossal when you realize it's not just an enormous beast, but a sum of nibbles, each a manageable morsel towards the satisfaction of completion. Part 5. Transform reading into a dialogue with the text. Picture the venerable Benjamin Franklin, armed with a pen, as he delves into the depths of a riveting text. He's not merely reading, he's conversing with the author, engaging with ideas, and scribbling down insights that resonate or challenge. This is the philosophy that Luhmann espoused, treating reading as an active, participatory exercise. The principle is as timeless as it is powerful. Always read with a pen in your hand. As you wander through the garden of literature, Your slip box is the pocket where you collect seeds of ideas that you may one day sow into your own intellectual soil. It's not just about recognition, but about sparking a dynamic exchange with what lies on the page. Here lies the divergence from the traditional academic practice. It's common to see students engaging in a frenzied dance of highlighters across a text, carving out large chunks of it, or perhaps daubing the margins with ink. Others may let the words wash over them, leaving no tangible trace behind. But by maintaining a slip box, your reasoning for reading and note-taking has architecture. It's about constructing upon the scaffolding of what you've already assembled. And yet, while we plumb the depths of our readings, it's crucial to remain conscious of our confirmation bias. Our intellectual appetite might naturally draw us towards what familiarizes, resonates, or largely confirms our beliefs. But suppose we were to take a leaf out of Charles Darwin's notebook, actively capturing thoughts that oppose our theories. We'd forge a stronger shield against the unexpected arguments that might later come our way. In his note-taking, Luhmann exemplified brevity and relevance. With discipline and repetition, he honed the skill to distill complexity into essence without losing meaning. This practice is not just about curating a sharper collection of notes. It shapes you into a clearer thinker and communicator. You learn the art of presenting ideas in a way that cuts through the noise, delivering clarity. As you pen down these permanent notes, it is vital to remember who they're for. They're letters to the future you, a reader who has a general lay of the intellectual land but may not recall the specific trails you once trod. Write for that version of you, bridging memories and context, so that when you revisit the ideas, they are as vivid as the day you wrote them down. Part 6. Maximize learning by intertwining thoughts with your slipbox. Recall the night before an exam, the words blurring as you furiously page through textbooks. The common ritual of cramming might have scraped you through the exam, but did it foster genuine understanding? More than likely, those hastily absorbed facts slipped away soon after. Instead of locking yourself in a late-night battle with textbooks, perhaps a round of ping-pong would have been more beneficial. Yes, strenuous exercise has a knack for nudging information into long-term memory and quelling those pesky stress hormones that hinder learning. But let's pivot from ping-pong to a strategy that's about more than just burning calories. It's a cerebral sport called elaboration. Our central insight: your slip box becomes a crucible for elaboration, enriching your learning experience. Elaboration is the process of intricately weaving what you're reading into the tapestry of your existing thoughts and theories. It's the practice of seeking a connection, not merely by noting down facts, but by contemplating their broader implications and relevance. When you engage with your slip box, you engage in elaboration almost inadvertently. Yes, it's effortful. Devouring texts without ruminating on their substance is akin to planting seeds on stone. They may stay for a while, but they don't flourish. So when you bypass deeper reflection, you're not saving time. You're surrendering the opportunity to genuinely learn. Let's not discount the value of memory aids. Flashcards, for example, may outshine cramming, but without a narrative or a conceptual frame, they are isolated islands of knowledge. The slipbox transforms this. It doesn't merely conserve facts, but cultivates them. Each addition to your slipbox fosters connections not only on paper, but in the meshwork of your mind. This lattice becomes the scaffold on which each new concept or fact takes its place, firming up your intellectual edifice. And every time you retrieve and interlace information from your slipbox, you're deepening those pathways, creating layers upon layers of understanding. Thus, embracing the art of the Zettelkasten is embracing a journey towards intellectual enlightenment and peak efficiency. It's about nurturing an ecosystem of ideas that flourish into astounding productivity and potentially groundbreaking insights. Final summary. In a nutshell, the magic of the Zettelkasten lies in its power to serve as your intellectual ally. By methodically cultivating a dynamic system of note-taking and idea cataloging, you transcend the traditional bounds of memory and creativity. The slipbox stands as a testament to Niklas Luhmann's ingenious approach to organizing knowledge, an approach that can revolutionize the way you engage with information. Whether you're a student, writer, researcher, or lifelong learner, adopting the Zettelkasten technique promises a world where blank pages are filled with ease and learning becomes a delightful, ongoing dialogue. As you integrate this system into your scholarly and creative endeavors, you foster deeper thinking, clearer understanding, and a wellspring of interconnected insights that will continually inspire and guide your written works. In essence, let the Zettelkasten or slipbox be your thought companion, a tool that not only preserves your intellectual discoveries, but also propels you to new heights of academic and personal achievement. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.